The Trump administration has notified Congress that it approved the sale of $600 million in armed MQ-9B drones and related equipment to Taiwan. The deal will enable Taiwan to acquire 4 weapons-ready, remotely piloted aircraft and related equipment. This is the latest in a series of arms transfers for the island. Viewers may note that the U.S. Department of State, before this, has approved the sale of 11 truck-based rocket launchers made by Lockheed Martin Corp, called HIMARS. 135 AGM-84H Standoff Land Attack Missile Expanded Response SLAM-ER missiles and 6 MS-110 Recce external sensor pods made by Collins Aerospace for jets in a deal worth $1.8 billion. The administration has also approved plans for a $2.37 billion sale of Harpoon missile systems to Taiwan, which saw Beijing announcing sanctions on U.S. defense contractors, including Boeing. After this announcement, China vowed Wednesday that it will make a proper and necessary response if the U.S. proceeds with the sale. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said the move brutally interferes in China's internal affairs and seriously undermines China's sovereignty and security interests, adding that the U.S. should cancel all such sales to Taiwan so as to avoid further damage to China-U.S. relations and peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why the potential sale of the MQ-9 Reaper has got China very worried. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. Taiwan and China have been at loggerheads. Their conflict can be traced back to 1949 and the end of the Civil War of China. The nationalists were defeated, whereas the communists won. The nationalists moved to Taiwan and set up their own government there. Communists set up the People's Republic of China. Both sides claim they represented the whole of China. China considers Taiwan as part of its territory and is willing to bring it back into its fold, even if it requires force. In 1979, the United States normalized diplomatic relations with the Beijing government under the Communist Party of China. Since then, the relation between Taiwan and the United States became unofficial and informal and is governed by the Taiwan Relations Act. The Taiwan Relations Act is designed to maintain ambiguity and does not state if the USA will or will not intervene militarily if the PRC attacks or invades Taiwan. Under the Act, the U.S. is obligated to sell arms of a defensive character to Taiwan. Chinese hostile stance toward Taiwan reached new levels after the election in January last year, which saw Taiwanese voters re-elect incumbent President Tsai Ing-wen in a landslide election. She easily defeated her opponent, Han Kuo-yu, whose Kuomintang party promotes closer ties with China. This is seen as a sharp reprimand to Beijing and its attempts to intimidate and lure Taiwan into China's fold. The General Atomics MQ-9 Reaper, sometimes called Predator B, is an unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, capable of remotely controlled or autonomous flight operations, developed by General Atomics Aeronautical Systems, primarily for the United States Air Force. The MQ-9 is the first hunter-killer UAV designed for long endurance, high-altitude surveillance. On March 9, 2018, the U.S. Air Force officially retired Predator and replaced it with the MQ-9 Reaper. Reaper will be the backbone of the U.S. Air Force drone operations going forward. Viewers may note that Predator was the one which initiated the era of unmanned air combat and put the fear of God into the heart of America's enemies, especially the terrorists. The MQ-9 is a larger, heavier, and more capable aircraft than Predator. Reaper is a major upgrade and brings in much more to the table when compared to Predator. Predator had an endurance of 24 hours, a service ceiling of 25,000 feet, and a range of 675 miles, or 1,100 kilometers, and a max speed of 135 miles per hour, or 217 kilometers per hour. Reaper has an endurance of 27 hours, a service ceiling of 50,000 feet, a range of 1,151 miles, or 1,852 kilometers, and a max speed of 300 miles per hour, or 482 kilometers per hour. The U.S. Air Force also has plans to acquire extended range (ER) upgrade kits for almost all the Reapers. With the ER kit, Reapers will have an endurance of up to 42 hours without external stores. Reaper's main sensor is the nose-mounted MTS-B multispectral surveillance and targeting turret, and its fuselage-mounted Lynx synthetic aperture radar. But Reaper's pylons are very versatile and can be used to carry a variety of tactical equipment, like communications relay hops, electronic warfare pods, as well as wide area aerial surveillance (WAAS) camera arrays. The additional sensors are designed to act in conjunction with the drone's main sensors. The USAF is also planning to put more potent radars on board some Reapers. The idea is to create ground-moving targeting identification (GMTI) sensor nodes that can be dispersed around the war zone. GMTI is a radar capability that can be used to trail moving targets on the ground over time using radar. Reaper has the ability to carry around 2,500 pounds or 1,100 kilograms of weapons payload through its external hardpoints. The Reaper's hardpoints give it the ability to deploy a combination of AGM-114 Hellfire, GBU-12 Paveway, and GBU-38 JDAM munitions. AGM-114 Hellfire air-to-surface missile is capable of precision strikes. It can be used with many types of warheads like high-explosive anti-tank, heat, or tandem anti-armor metal augmented charge (MAC), or shape charge blast fragmentation. GBU-12 Paveway is an aerial laser-guided bomb. It's based on the Mark 82 500-pound general-purpose bomb, but has a nose-mounted laser seeker and fins for guidance. GPS guidance modes have been added to make the bomb more accurate. The GBU-38 Joint Directed Attack Munition, or JDAM, is a 500-pound or 226-kilogram bomb manufactured by Boeing using the Mark 82 bomb body. JDAM is a guidance kit that has an inertial guidance system coupled to a GPS receiver that converts unguided bombs into all-weather smart munitions. JDAM has a published range of up to 15 nautical miles or 28 kilometers. All of these are air-to-ground weapons, but Reaper could potentially be armed with AIM-9X air-to-air missile. AIM-9X has a speed of Mach 2.5 and a range of 22 miles or 35 kilometers. It has infrared homing for guidance and a 9.4 kilogram warhead. Taiwan and China are separated by the Taiwan Strait, so China will have to move its forces across the strait in case it decides to invade Taiwan. Reaper hovering over the strait will be an excellent force multiplier for Taiwan, since it will be able to keep a tab on the movement of Chinese forces. The platform will essentially eliminate the possibility of China taking Taiwan by surprise. The U.S. administration said the sale would improve Taiwan's defense by bolstering its intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities, and could act as a deterrence. It stated, "This proposed sale serves U.S. national, economic, and security interests by supporting the recipient's continuing efforts to modernize its armed forces and to maintain a credible defensive capability. The proposed sale will help improve the security of the recipient and assist in maintaining political stability, military balance, economic, and progress in the region." It's no surprise that China has not taken this move lightly and is irked. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.